With anti-aircraft missiles around the National Stadium, heavily armed police roaming the airport, and with metal detectors and bag checks in the subway, it doesn't look like much of a party in Beijing, more like a police state in overdrive.
The Chinese are clearly hyper-focused and hyper-worried about security. And this is something that they've been working on, I think, for at least 3 or 4 years by now.
More than anything else, the Chinese say they're worried about terrorism, with state media reporting last month an anti-terrorism force almost 100,000 strong, seen here during a recent exercise, was placed on high alert. Police have now set up checkpoints on many roads into Beijing. Vehicles are being stopped and then searched. They're looking for any possible threat. Both Interpol and the US State Department say there is cause for concern, especially from Muslim separatists in the northwest of the country with possible links to Al-Qaeda. Earlier this year, Chinese officials say they stopped a plot to bomb Beijing and Shanghai and poison the water supply during the Olympics. In March, a flight crew allegedly prevented a hijacking. Muslim separatists from the rest of Xinjiang region were blamed both times.
I doubt that that group has the wherewithal to make it to central Beijing and to intervene in the Olympics. But it is a threat, and there are many other threats.
Threats like a biological attack. Beijing will make full preparations for biological attacks like anthrax. We've even made antibiotics and vaccines, says this government official. At the same time, thousands of foreigners like Sabrina, who works for a private charity and asked not to reveal her full name, have been kicked out of the country in a pre-Olympic visa crackdown.
I think the thing is, a lot of these rules have been there before, but no one ever looked at them because they were never really enforced heavily.
The authorities want to ensure protesters from groups like Save Darfur and Free Tibet don't make it into China in the first place. And if they do, they'll be closely watched. Security analysts say China has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on video surveillance and facial recognition technology. Beijing is wired and will stay that way after the Games.
There's been a lot of issues about this raised, about how this technology will be used after the Games or even during the Games. That is a real concern. The legacy issue here is yet to be written.
Beijing always wanted these Olympics to be a kind of coming-of-age celebration. 3 decades since this country opened up to the rest of the world and began a breakneck economic transformation. But the leader at the time, Deng Xiaoping, warned, when you open the window, the flies can come in. It seems for the next few weeks, Chinese officials will be desperate to keep the flies out. John Vause, CNN Beijing.